So I've had days where I just feel like turning my back. I'm this really spiritual person. I teach spirituality, I write about it, I'm a healer, I'm a psychic, you name it. But then I have these days of, you know what, I'm done. Then I'll turn that around and I'll have a day of completely being immersed in it and loving it, and these highs and lows, if you like. And I realised after a while that wasn't balance at all. And so I set myself on this path. I immersed myself in spirituality as a way of coping with life, and I learnt a lot about myself and did the whole journey within, and did a lot of discovering who I was and what I wanted, and listening to my heart and my intuition and everything that you expect from a spiritual path, of course. I also bought into a lot of beliefs and rituals that weren't really necessary. Perhaps they were in the beginning. You know, meditate every day to get to that brain space of feeling in the present rather than thinking about the past or anxiety about the future and this kind of thing. So once I learnt the basic fundamental tools that I needed, it's all brain training really, then I decided to set about delivering what was meaningful to me. So that created life purpose. But then after a while I began alienating people that loved me, and that really hurt a lot, of, as you can imagine. But it also gave me a new awareness and made me remember that I am a human here just to be human. So I changed things, and I actually did a bit of a 180 and completely turned my back on it. And so I disappeared. For 3 months, I just removed myself from the industry that I had so much success in, and did this big hibernation, if you like. And it really did change a lot of things, because when something runs so deep in you and is part of you and that you're awakened to, you really can't just shut it off. The thing with a spiritual path and that new awareness and awakening to your own consciousness and that of the universe, once you are aware and once you feel that in you and feel that heightened awareness and feel that love, you can't just switch it off. You can't just turn your back on it and pretend to go back to how things were when your eyes were shut. So then you need to find something called balance. And this is what happened. I did a lot of searching within about what I love and what I hate. And I had these days of loving the universe and talking to it as if it was a supreme being, and saying, you know, I love you, and help me find balance. Then I'd have a day of, I hate you. You know, why? Why did you do this to me? You promised me all these amazing things. But then, of course, I realised that no. There's so many idealisms out there that spirituality is all this love and light and preaching beautiful, fluffy stuff, and it's not the case. It's not real at all. It's actually about a loving platform being provided where you can face yourself and be willing to do that and find belief in yourself again. So this was the journey I went on, and there was so much learning and so much unlearning that in the end I found a beautiful balance and an inner peace. And now it's given me that strength. There's so much strength in having a loving and peaceful onlook to life. It's the most power of all. Now I see clear as day that anyone who is upset, angry, judgmental, critical of others, and causing drama and feeling unrest, it's only because that's how they feel inside. A lot of them will deny that. Some of them will admit that. And all it made me see was that, not that of course I lend compassion to those people, but it made me realise that everyone's path is different, and everyone's path is their own. Their own learning and unlearning happens. It's not in the same stages as me. So it does not, therefore, I'm not better than someone else, nor am I worse. I'm not a higher vibration than someone else, nor am I lower. I don't like the idea of vibrations, and it gives this idealism that spirituality is some kind of ladder that you must climb. And it's, of course, natural for us to feel that way, and it probably was that way sort of 20 or 30 years ago. It's a bit of an outdated belief, I think, because it causes us to compare each other. It causes us to have competitiveness, jealousy, these kind of things, which is completely missing the point of a spiritual path. We really need to let go of the idea that we need to raise in vibration, or you have a low vibration, it's time to rise it by clearing your chakras and all this kind of stuff. To me, it's about peeling back layers. To me, I really believe that you have everything you need within you. Everything. Everything you need is there already, and a spiritual platform is going to give you this loving and safe environment where you're willing to face yourself and peel back those layers. And keep peeling them back and revealing things about yourself that you love, that you hate, that you want to change, that you want to transform into positive change and to better yourself if you feel you need it. Those layers being peeled back also allows you to accept yourself just the way you are and to accept others just the way they are. You know, and that's a really important and beautiful place to find, because it's then that you're able to help others profoundly, that you're not going to beat yourself up anymore, that you're going to value yourself. And that's a big one, because to me there are so many people in the world that do not feel a healthy form of esteem for themselves. Nearly every person on the planet, I would say, underneath their exterior doesn't feel a healthy self-worth or self-value. And that's, it's something that needs to be faced. And we can only get that true balance and happiness and worthiness about ourselves from within. We can't go searching in it, looking into other people for it to get their approval, or people-pleasing, I like to call it. You know, it comes from within. Spirituality is not about trying to achieve some kind of psychedelic experience or trying to be psychic and be a fab healer. You know, those things are beautiful and important, can be life-changing, but they're just one tiny aspect of the real thing. This is about you, and it all comes back to you and what you have within, how to access it, how to face yourself, and how to grow and improve, and how to make positive change. And that's a beautiful, beautiful, important path. It's a path that is led by the heart. It is a path that is led by the intuition. And when we start listening, our world changes a lot. Some of it's beautiful, some of it's messy, and therefore I like to call it the beautiful mess. You know, life is quite often shaped by how we think and what we feel. When we are connecting with our conscious self, our higher self if you like, or the universe, or supreme beings if that's what you're into, we're really asking to be better, we're asking to be loved, we're asking for all those things we want that we have within, and we're using that as a tool to access it. And that's another beautiful part of spirituality, that we are given all these beautiful tools like angels and ascended masters and crystals and healing and, all these different modalities and techniques like meditation, where they will help us to face ourselves in a positive way, in a safe way, and in a way that causes us to transform positively. Once we learn that for ourselves and attain somewhat balance, we can then share that with others. Everything you learn should be shared. If anything valuable you learn for yourself improves you, then we should share that with others, because it may help them, and then it's a beautiful snowball effect. And that drives me. That's my passion. I really believe that every person in the world should be loved, that has opportunity to believe in themselves and to feel inspired, and to believe in themselves enough to pursue their dreams and what their heart wants, because in doing so, they then make positive change in the world too. And that to me is why spirituality is so important for the mind, body and spirit. We are those three things. We should access three in balance. There's no point immersing yourself too much in a spiritual life, and there's no point turning your back on it either. Neither are balanced. And it's about finding a way to integrate your spirituality into your everyday life. That is the key. Do that and you'll be a key stakeholder in transforming this world and humanity as we know it. And that's inspiring, and you have it in you. You really have it in you.